This is the Effing One Podcast, Australia's only Formula One podcast with Adam and Luke.
G'day and welcome to Effing One Podcast, Australia's only dedicated Formula One podcast, the Little Aussie Battlers podcast for the Formula One fan who, like us, gives 110%, toiling tirelessly as we strive to be ordinary, to be average. We always fall slightly short. Well, great news off the bat today. This little knockabout Aussie podcast is now the 7th most popular podcast in the coastal Russian town of Vladivostok.
Hey. That's exciting.
Very, very exciting news, Luke, straight off the bat. Pretty pumped. Vladivostok, what a spot.
It's a beautiful spot.
On bordering China, North Korea.
It's cold in winter.
Cold. Major industries include fishing and pollution. Lovely spot. And there's
it's a full-time job polluting.
It's not easy.
Someone's got to do it.
Not easy. The Russians are good at it. Now, there's plenty of competition in Vladivostok for podcasting. There's, of course, the very popular, one of our favourites, How to Dry Fish podcast.
It's important.
Very good tips on drying fish. Russia, great motherland.
What's your favourite tip to dry fish?
Normally just leaving it in the sun, I thought, was the go.
Yeah, hanging it up under the house.
Hanging it up to the house.
Yeah.
Sea breeze, I think, is quite helpful.
Do you like the number 6 podcast?
Vladimir.
Oh, that's good.
It's so funny.
Good.
Oh, it's the Russian sense of humour, Luke.
Yeah.
It gets you. It's a lot of shots to the nuts.
Oh.
It's,
And for a podcast, a shot to the nuts. Oh. You can hear the slap, and then you can feel the pain in the sound of it all.
It's just the sound of the eggs cracking, isn't it? That's all it is.
You got to break some eggs if you want to make an omelette.
They've also got a lot of old frail people falling over. That's always funny, isn't it? Like hidden cameras, but hidden microphones.
You hear that hip break?
Oh, the Russian sense of humour. It never stops.
So what are the other podcasts? I interrupted.
Oh, I don't think I did that much research. I just know that we're number 7, and I researched the top 3. So I'm not sure what number 4, 5,
I know what
6.
4 is.
Do you?
4 is What's That Smell?
I love that one. Now that you mention it. Yes. That is funny.
I've subscribed to that one.
Where they just, like, they have a room of people and they let go and you get everyone's...
What did you have for dinner?
Yeah.
That's one of the segments.
Yeah.
What did you have for dinner? Someone farts and everyone just has to... And then you just go into people's houses and you go, what's that smell?
What's that smell?
You know, you go into someone's house and their house has a weird smell. Like, it's not a normal house.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Something not right.
Yeah, I got some family like that. You go into the house and it's like, oh, it has that smell. I don't know if it's stale. I don't know if it's dog.
Is
there
undies?
A dead cat?
Is it?
Someone have bad feet?
Is it food?
Yeah.
It's not your mum's cooking. She's very good.
No.
She's very good.
Her house has a smell, but it's not bad.
No. So it's nice to be amongst the top echelon of Russian podcasts.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
In Vladivostok.
Sorry.
Right.
Sorry, very specific to Vladivostok.
Yeah.
Because come Moscow, we are right down the list. But that's okay. Good news. More good news, besides the fact that we're number 7th in Vladivostok. Robert Kubica is on this podcast today.
Really?
Yep. Robert Kubica.
I didn't think we were going to get him back.
Polish driver. He's turned up again. We've got him loaded up. We've got producer Pete. He's actually been working this week.
Has he?
Searching talent. So he's been...
I've seen him look at a few gay porn sites. I don't know about that kind of talent.
That's what he's...
That's where he found Robert?
That's right. I think he's currently naked. Yeah. That's where Pete found him in the chat room.
It's all about
They
moisturising.
were both naked. They were both rubbing one out. And Pete just mentioned, by the way...
Robert showed his finger. I was like,
did you want to be on the podcast?
I've seen that finger before.
Yeah. And then they looked in each other's eyes and they came all over each other.
All over each other's webcam.
Oh, dear.
Beautiful moment.
This is
They call that a whiteout in the biz.
You just made me fart. That's how funny that was. Oh, Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion, also on this podcast.
Heard of him.
A little Aussie butler of a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is on the podcast? Oh, I think we might
You,
catch...
me.
Oh, do you want to... unveiled the news. Very big news.
Now?
Yep.
About Nerang?
No. About the other big name,
Oh, Daniel Ricciardo.
Daniel Ricciardo. On this
He
podcast?
is going to be on this podcast.
Dan Ricciardo.
Yep, we're going to chat to him in between practice sessions.
He's going to be on this podcast.
We've made time for him.
Unbelievable. We're going to squeeze him in somewhere, you think?
We'll get him in
We've
here.
got a very busy schedule.
We do. We've got a lot to talk about.
Lots to talk about. So if we've got time, we'll fit him in. Is that what you're saying?
No, we'll get him in.
All right.
We'll get him in.
All right.
If we run too long, he'll have to go practice, but
Yeah.
we'll be fine.
yep.
We're running long. We're going to do this quick.
Yep.
Quick podcast. We always do quick ones.
Let's keep going. It's all here. For those who like their Formula One a little bit lewd, a little bit blue, as you may have already seen, a bit rough around the edges. Love watching two slightly overweight, middle-aged Aussie blokes, that's you and me, Luke, get down, get dressed up, get dressed down when the mood is right. This is the mildly amusing podcast you've been searching for, so sit down and shut up! Because it's time to go head first, pants down. I don't know what happened there. That was
I
weird.
know, I just took my pants off.
I know. Kubica style and producer Pete style.
I'm ready for my COVID test.
Oh, boy. Okay. The Tuscan Mugello. I like to say Mugello.
You can say Mugello. Say whatever you
GP,
want.
how was that for you? It was kind of like 3 races in one.
It was a great Grand Prix. It had a bit of everything. The only thing it didn't have was a track invader.
That's true.
And they had people there to invade the track, but they
Yeah.
didn't. I think that was the first time we had fans at a Grand Prix this weekend.
Excuse me, I just coughed in the microphone.
A couple thousand. Yes, very professional.
Thank you.
Not
Thank
like you've done this
Professional
before.
podcasting.
Yes. We get paid for this.
Do we?
No, paid out. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Paid out by someone.
You do that shit? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. How embarrassing. Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Not my fault.
Mum. Yeah, great Grand Prix.
Great Grand Prix. 3 starts in the one race. They
So-
should be mandatory over every Formula One race.
Yeah, I love a good red flag.
Yeah.
It's certainly spiced up the last 2 Grand Prix. Didn't change the winner this time. Came pretty close with Daniel overtaking Bottas after the second restart. But at the start, Max Verstappen had his engine cover off when they were on the grid, and I was like, this isn't going to be good. And he went into turn 1 with a severe lack of power, and then kind of got in the way of a few people, Gasly, and I think it was Giovinazzi. They all came together, which took Grosjean, put him into the wall,
Yep.
but he got on the radio and said, I'll try and drive out of it. There's some grass over there, and I've got gravel down my back, which is nice.
Yeah.
So Grosjean likes a bit of gravel.
Yep.
So if anyone sees him, give him a packet of gravel.
Yep.
You'll love it.
Yep.
But Gasly was out. Verstappen was out straight away.
Always great to see Verstappen get out so early.
So they pulled out the safety car.
Yeah.
And then they've formed up, ready to go. The safety car went into pit lane, so therefore Valtteri Bottas is in control of the pace of the people behind him.
Yep.
And so what happened was everyone was kind of concertining it up, but there was guys at the back, mainly George Russell. He left a considerable gap to the guy in front of him, and he's kind of sped up to him in anticipation that Valtteri was going to put his foot down.
Yeah.
And by anticipating that, then he would get a good run into someone down into turn 1.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Valtteri went very, very late, and the crash had already happened. So George got out of the way because he saw that the cars weren't going. He pulled off, and then Magnussen slowed down as well. And everyone was kind of in a single line tow. And then one pulls out, and then they see a car that's pretty much going 60 to 80 kilometers an hour.
Yep.
And then just chaos ensued. Parts went everywhere. Thankfully, no one was injured. Massive accident, which caused a red flag. They had to clean the track up. And then we went racing again on a restart.
Love a good restart.
Yeah, it's always good. Standing start always mixes things up.
So much better than a rolling start.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
When you're sitting still for long enough,
Mm-hmm.
it's just, there's always a little stuff up somewhere, someone makes a mistake, and that's what happens.
Then-
So the second restart,
Second restart.
what happens there? Verstappen gets a bit crazy.
So the reason why we had a second restart was because of Daddy Boy Stroll
Yeah.
had a left rear failure, and he went straight into the wall in one of the Arrabbiata, I think it was Arrabbiata 2 corner. Great track. Beautiful track.
Beautiful
no
track.
corner under fourth gear, so all fast-flowing corners. The drivers loved it. I loved watching it. Quali was excellent. I think they could work a bit better on where they shoot. Being, as a photographer, you kind of know that they could have shot the Grand Prix qualifying a lot better from different angles. I really hope they go back to Mugello. It's been a great addition to this year's calendar.
Fun track.
There's a few things they've thrown out this year that, we've got new tracks, we've got places they've never been before, or Formula One cars never raced before, and it's great to see that this year. The restart, Daniel jumped Valtteri Bottas going down into turn 1.
Fantastic.
I was jumping up and down like I don't know what jumps up and down.
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo?
Probably.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do
They
sometimes.
love to jump.
They jump.
He was on
They
fire.
scratch themselves.
He's been just fantastic.
So great start, but I think we all knew
Well,
he wasn't going to stay in front of Bottas with the pace that Mercedes had over everyone that weekend.
he's certainly driving beyond his car.
And well ahead of his teammate.
Well ahead of Esteban.
Ocon's had a little bit of misfortune in Monza with his brake sort of fusing, like it melted something. That's not really his fault. But Daniel's been ahead of him.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the big surprises of this year is how far ahead Dan. I think a lot of people thought it'd be a lot closer. Maybe that Esteban might, even though he's been out for a year, but that he's a very quick driver.
Yeah.
He was very quick against Perez.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he had the better of Perez.
Yep.
They were toe to toe.
Yep.
And Dan is wiping the floor, so just highlights how good Dan is.
Oh, of course. Daniel is a great driver.
He's in the top. He's in the top echelon.
Yeah, he's probably easily top 3 drivers in Formula One at the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a great Grand Prix. Unfortunately, Alexander Albon just had way too much pace, as both Daniel and Alex had brand new sets of soft tyres on, which Daniel saved by only doing one quali run earlier on in the weekend. But yeah, Alex did a great job around the outside. Alex probably did the 2 best overtaking manoeuvres of the race.
Around the outside.
Round the outside.
Just around the outside.
Yeah, and he went round the outside.
That's what he does. Doesn't like going inside.
Perez.
Yeah.
At earlier on in the Grand Prix, and that was an impressive pass. It was very opportunistic. Same with Romain Grosjean. Did a really, really great overtake, which he ended up losing that position anyway, but that overtake was top notch.
Yep.
For the Frenchman.
A bit disappointing that Dan didn't hang on to that podium spot. Would have been good to get the first Renault podium.
It would have been good, and it will come. He will get that opportunity. I have no doubt. Like earlier, pre-season testing, I was like umming and ahhing, and I wasn't really confident going into Melbourne, which ended up being a no-show anyway, well, a no-go. But yeah, I think he'll get a podium, no doubt. But the Mugello was a great race. Unfortunate for George Russell, he was solidly in 9th until Stroll's red flag incident, and they had to restart, and then the Ferraris got ahead of him. Raikkonen did a great job as well.
Heartbreaking, got pipped by a Ferrari.
I still love Raikkonen's radio when he gets on there and they say he gets really angry about something, like he got a 5-second penalty. He's like, for what? It's like you cut across the line. And then he just fades away. Wait a minute. I probably did go across.
Peters off into the distance.
It's like, well, I just can't see. It needs to be wider, but I did kind of do it.
That is uncanny. That is uncanny, the resemblance.
It's just nothing happens with it. I just don't know what to do.
That's Kimmy. Angry and Peters off to nothing.
Yeah, and he's just like, it's all or nothing at that first bit, and then he just drifts away. It's like he loses interest in his point. I just don't see what's the point in telling you all my problems. I just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so true. So good race.
Great race.
Great race.
Lewis Hamilton won ahead of Valtteri Bottas and Alexander Albon with his first podium. The reason why Alexander Albon was allowed his first podium is because Lewis was in front of him. The other two times Albon's had an opportunity at a podium, he was overtaking Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
Who the fuck is that?
Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
The great blues musician. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, Lewis Hamilton, a.k.a. Louis Armstrong
Louis
now.
Armstrong. It's going to stick. It's going to stick.
Yeah, because he didn't want a different race in front of him. He's like, no, if we're going to have equality, you need to stay behind me.
Fair enough. No, good race. Can't wait to get back there. It's a great track. What's happening with the World Championship points, Luke? Have you got that on hand? Is it a
Lewis is well ahead.
Well ahead, like it's all over.
It's over. As soon as Max had that DNF in Austria, it was over.
All over.
It came close, but Lewis isn't going to make mistakes. He's not like he didn't even get in a turd championship last year.
No, not when you got a teammate like Bottas doing bugger all Bottas.
No pressure on you. But this weekend, he's strong here, Bottas.
He loves this track at Sochi.
Yeah.
Well, let's not go straight into Sochi just yet because we need to hand out some awards for Mugello, if you like. Mugello. How about the Green Award, Luke, for the Least Carbon Footprint Award? Who was kindest to the environment?
Well,
the Tuscan GP.
Where do you go for that one? There were so many retirements.
There was.
First laps, there was Pierre Gasly, Max Verstappen, just Red Bull in general. You know, the whole family.
Yeah.
And is it Mugello that you give the Green Award to? Because
Maybe.
it was
3 restarts.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't. It was tough to make the decision, but I'm going to go with Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, especially after such a fantastic race win.
Yeah, we need to give him something.
Back it up with that little crashing. I love it.
Yeah, went in there. You know, Giovinazzi took a couple of blokes out. He effectively took Max, which ended up taking out Gasly.
Yep.
We could give it to Giovinazzi. You could give it to the restart. You could give it to George Russell for causing the fracas of on the restart from the safety car on lap 7. You could give it to any one of them. We could give them all Green Awards. Pete, get working on some more Green Awards. We've got some more to give out.
We've got lots.
Everyone gets a Green Award.
Everyone gets an award.
Didn't finish except for Stroll because he can go fuck himself.
So you're going to give it to Gasly?
Gasly.
Gasman
Verstappen
has the awards.
Giovinazzi.
Yeah.
Magnussen. Who else was in that crash? The second crash. Grosjean avoided it. I don't know how he avoided it.
He was kind of involved in it, though.
Latifi.
Yeah, the
Latifi was... Yep. He even swore. I think it's the first time I've ever heard a Canadian swear outside of Terrence and
in the
Phillip.
middle of a crash. Like, yeah, that was impressive. Oh, it'd be good if for every race someone was a designated Max Verstappen crasher. Just run into Max. Just liven up the race. Get a red flag and a restart. I just want to see Hamilton and Max get knocked out every race.
That'd be nice.
And then you'd have a race on your hands.
Yeah, because Bottas would struggle to stay ahead.
Bottas would never win.
Yeah.
Alexander Albon, useless. Dan would be up there.
Yeah.
Against the Racing Points and the McLarens.
Yeah.
The next award, the UGE Day Awards for wasting everyone's time. Like, who wasted everyone's time out there?
Well,
hard to pick.
It is. But for this is more for consecutive, DNFs, mechanical failures, incidents. I'm giving it to Kevin Magnussen.
Oh.
He's had a tough trot. I think he's had 5 DNFs this year.
Yep.
Unfortunate for him. And he might as well come away with something. So he gets the UGE Award for...
Are you still cheerleading for the
Man, he's
the
struggling. He's in a slump.
Is he going to be... I mean, when
Grosjean... he didn't even get out of Q1. Grosjean got out of Q1, for fuck's sake.
When Grosjean's out driving you, you know there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Who's going to go out of those two? Or are they both going to go next year? Are they both gone? They could both easily go. There's a lot of drivers floating about.
Perez will go to Haas.
Will a little Schumacher turn up there?
No. He'll go to Alpha.
Okay.
If he wins Formula 2...
Will Hulkenberg go there?
Hulkenberg will go to Alfa Romeo.
Okay.
You heard it here. Probably,
Okay.
I don't know if you heard it here
Well,
first.
well,
If
it's
you hadn't
Kimmy-
heard it on other
you're saying that
podcasts, you've
Kimmy's-
heard it here first.
Well, this is a place.
Don't,
for
why are you
firsts.
listening to other podcasts?
Well, you wouldn't.
No.
You wouldn't. Are you saying that Kimmy's going to retire?
Well,
I don't think he's gonna
I
retire.
said it on my solo that he was. I heard that he was, but apparently Fred Vasseur's saying we're leaving it in his hands because he's driven really well this year.
If you leave it in his hands, he'll be there till he's 60. He's never leaving, Luke.
Well, it's not another country. I don't want to.
No, he's going
Where's
my steering wheel? Hey, guys! He's not leaving. He's never leaving. Next award, the Pastor Maldonado Award, Luke, for dangerous driving.
Where do you give awards? Like, there was so many.
So much danger.
Like, I'm going to give it to Giovinazzi.
Okay.
The reason being is he was kind of the...
Instigator.
Yeah, and he managed to take both wheels off his car. Like, he was a passenger in the second crash, but fuck it, Gio. You get the Pastor Maldonado.
Oh, right
Award.
on. Love it.
Yeah.
Lick it and send it, Luke. Oh, you're going to give it to Albon, aren't you?
I am.
Over that Dan move.
Yep. Dan,
on the outside.
Dan was good.
Yeah, but he's got the way faster car.
He had a faster
on.
car, but his move, it wasn't just on Daniel. It was the move on Perez, which is the one that if you watch the best on boards on the F1 YouTube, you'll see that move of young Alexander Albon on Sergio Perez on the second restart.
Yep.
Just perfect.
Smooth.
Very, very good.
Very smooth. He deserved that podium.
The close second was Grosjean on, I think it was Leclerc.
Yep.
On a restart. And he just opportunistic. Charles got a little bit of a wiggle mid-corner, and he just stuck it up the inside and made it work. I was like, that's a good move. And even Grosjean gave himself one hell of a pat on the back with all the gravel there.
Yeah, he would do.
There was a lot of good overtaking. Everyone was saying, this is going to be a boring race. You can't overtake them. Bullshit. If you watched F3, which,
fantastic.
Congratulations,
Oscar
Piastri.
Oscar Piastri, the Aussie boy.
Winning the F3 title.
You little ripper.
Well done, Oscar.
Young Formula One driver right there.
He is a prodigy.
There's a few little Aussie drivers in F3.
Yeah.
4? 5?
I think we had 3.
Oh, okay.
You can say 5.
I'm going to say 5. Doohan was there.
Doohan was there.
Piastri. The other guy that starts
Peroni.
with P. Peroni.
Yep.
There's another one.
Alex Peroni.
No, there's not a fourth?
No.
There's a fourth.
There is a fourth. Maybe he's a Kiwi.
No. There's a Kiwi and there's a fourth Aussie.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
There's a fourth.
Lick it and send it.
I stand corrected.
Lick it, send it for the... we've already done that. That's Albert. Keep up, Adam. Keep up. Making Formula One great, Luke. Got to go to the circuit, surely.
You'd have to.
Got to go to the circuit. Bloody awesome. Bloody awesome race.
Yeah. Thank you, Mugello. Thank you, coronavirus.
Thank you, Corona.
Because if it wasn't for coronavirus, we wouldn't be going to Mugello. We wouldn't be going to Imola.
And we wouldn't have Ferrari being embarrassed and pantsed at their own Grand Prix with their special limited edition livery.
Yep.
That was embarrassing. Lucky there was no crowd there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank Corona.
Well, the 1,000 or 2,000 people that were there, which...
they all left early.
both Ferraris got the points. That's all they've got. And that's
situation.
Basically because poor George Russell missed out.
How does Leclerc manage to get so... how many podiums has he had this year? 2 podiums this year?
Mm-hmm.
He's had 2 podiums?
Austria.
In such a rubbish car. I think that says a lot about him and how poorly Ferrari and Sebastian have gone this year.
Yeah, he was, but also Austria too. He drove into the back of Sebastian up into turn 3.
Yep.
So Seb had a good weekend that weekend, but unfortunately cut short by Charles, I think. But Charles is clearly a standout in Ferrari.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. It's all good for Charles. His stock is incredibly high. But there just seems to be that little bit of petulance every now and again. He's very self-doubting when he makes a mistake. He's very hard on himself. But yeah, it's great race, Mugello. 1000th
Great race.
Grand Prix. Saw the F2004 going round Mugello with Mick Schumacher driving around his dad's car.
Yeah, isn't he? He's leading F2 at the moment.
I had a little bit of an erection.
Did you?
Yeah, watching that car go round.
Oh,
Just that
beautiful.
sound and how
Yeah.
good it looked.
Yeah.
The sound of that Formula One car.
Beautiful sound.
I didn't know much of the 80s, of the V12s, of the Ferraris back in the day. But I was first introduced to Formula One properly with the 3-litre V10s and,
They were noisy.
God.
They were noisy. We used to live in the Adelaide
Gets my
Hills
dick hard.
back when the Adelaide Grand Prix was on.
Mm.
And the Adelaide Hills is probably, 30 Ks from the circuit.
Wow.
You hear it clear as day.
That's awesome.
Clear as day. You
That's
hear this
awesome.
noise from the valley.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Gee, that goes back. Shows my age.
Yeah.
We need to jump in the paddock
Oh,
because we've got a finger in the paddock.
we
Should
do.
they've got the Polish folk song that we need to play, don't we? we've got a theme song for him now.
Pete's been practicing on the
He has.
piano accordion,
Yep.
and he hasn't quite nailed it yet.
No, but it sounds something like this. Hey, into the paddock. Hey, to the paddock. It's hey, to the paddock with Robert Kubica. Robert Kubica. Hey, hey. That's nice.
That's quite an intro.
As a
Is that something you just
as a
thought up, or is
musician,
this
he
like
makes
a
very good Formula One driver.
4-week thing?
Yeah, 4-week thing. Now that's Robert's favourite pastime. One of his favourite things to do when he's not Formula One driving and testing for COVID
Folk music?
is folk music.
Mm.
No one's got the heart to tell him his shit.
Would you? He's had enough.
So let's go have a chat to him because he's roaming the paddock right now.
He's an unfortunate looking man.
And he is looking pretty good. Let's check out where he is. Hello. Hello, fellas.
Robert,
It's me, Robert Kubica.
how you going?
Yes, I'm well. How
How's
are you?
Russia?
Russia. Oh,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. I like it.
Mm.
Yes, I don't know if you know your history very well, but the Russian Federation, the CCP, the USSR, if you like.
Soviet Union?
Soviet Union used to be in control and running Poland.
Mm.
We had lovely relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice peoples. And
Pimples?
Peoples.
Peoples. Oh, peoples.
Very
right.
nice peoples in Russia.
Right.
We are very close, very close. So I've been very busy, boys.
Yes.
I have been very busy.
Catching up with any old family?
And now I've been testing
Oh,
at the credible
I forgot.
speeds.
You are a busy man.
I'm very busy. It's a passion and a hobby and a full-time job.
We had a positive test
Yes.
of Will Buxton,
Yes.
the F1 TV presenter.
I stuck my finger in his Buxton and I had a little taste because the best way, as I told you before, the Polish way, good science in Poland, you must taste the disease on the finger.
Now, and he
Will
came.
Buxton
Yes.
in the buttock.
So he won't in the buttock, in the paddock.
Yes, buttock in the buttock.
Interesting. So he won't be there this weekend.
No.
What did it taste like?
It tasted, the COVID tastes a bit like chicken, but not the healthy one, like the chicken you have as mascot, the
Oh, speckled Jim.
all speckled. It's the way that speckled Jim would taste right now.
Right now.
Yes,
yeah,
in the-
yeah, not good.
The decaying flesh, like the dirty, gross gratiakis.
Is that a popular meal in Poland?
Yes, pickled. We like to pickle the chickens.
Pickled chicken.
Pickle. We like to pickle everything.
Oh yeah.
Yes, pickled.
What's your
fish.
favorite pickle?
I like to pickle fish.
Do you pickle your finger in between each COVID test?
Pickle onions.
Just to kind of
Have you
like-
tried pickled onion?
Is
That's
it
very
like,
tasty.
is it like a palate cleanser?
Yes, it's
So
like
you dip it in the brine and
Yeah.
then it's all
correct.
back to neutral.
Yes, it's like when you go to a perfumery to go to try the ladies' perfumes,
Mm.
and you have a little canister of
Coffee beans?
coffee beans.
Yep.
To lighten the palate, to make sure that you neutralize the smells.
So you dip your finger in the brine.
So yes, after the testing, I can show you if you like. Would
No,
you
no,
like?
no, you're right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
I can give you 3 tests.
No.
Not on the house.
No.
Please, no. Please.
No, you've had a
No,
busy
no.
finger.
No, look.
Keep that fucking hand away
I
from me.
insist, please.
It scares me.
You want to be... Do you have a cough? You don't look well. You don't. You look like in my
That
country.
was me laughing and scoffing. It wasn't a cough.
What I would say to you right now, Luke, is you look like a...
Don't think you're a
sick-
medical professional.
We have a saying in Poland.
You lack
You
accreditation.
look like a sick deer.
It's just my face.
You're pale. You're bald. You're fat.
Have you seen your face? Jesus Christ, Robert.
I have been voted the most handsome man in Poland.
That's right.
Very handsome. What you see now before you is...
How many beauty pageants have you won?
This is a beauty... I have look very
You
nice.
won Miss Poland?
I have won Miss Poland. How did you know this? Look, it's supposed to be a secret.
I know my research, mate. You look very good in a dress.
I insist. Look, if you're to be in the paddock, I am the FIA coronavirus inspector.
That's why I stand outside the paddock.
I need you to bend over for me.
I've
please.
yet to be in the paddock. I'm still waiting for my fucking pass.
Bend over, please.
No.
Bend over.
No. I will not bend over.
Okay, I'll have to do this myself. All right. Wait a second.
Don't test
Hang on a
yourself.
moment. Wait.
We're not watching this.
Wait a moment. Your belt is off.
That's not my belt.
Yep. Your fly is down. Okay. Now, I want you to look straight ahead. Can you see that Russian man in front of you? That is Vladimir. That is Vladimir.
Oh, it is.
I want you to look at him and think only about him. Okay? Here we go.
Oh, Mother Russia!
Okay, hold it, hold it.
Dad.
Okay. Let me have a little taste. You're all clear. No problem. You do not have the COVID, Luke. You're fine to mingle. Okay.
I think I just came.
Okay. Now, if you don't mind, I need to speak to Vladimir Putin. I have to...
You can speak to Vladimir?
Yes. Hey,
Okay.
Vladimir, come over here, please. Yes, I'd like to chat to you. This guy's from Australia. Lovely podcasting.
What do you want?
Oh,
I
hello.
didn't kill no one.
Vladimir, it's lovely to see you. Can I just say what a great honor it is to have the King of Russia, the King of the world, here today.
Yes, it is a great honor.
Welcome to Effing One Podcast.
Thank you for your thorough test. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yes, I hope I was gentle with you, sir.
No, you were fine.
And can I just say that I've never tasted quite as sweet anus as yours.
I put something in there for you.
You did put some...
Just to hide the decayed chicken I kept up there last week.
Ah, yes, it smelled like and tasted a little bit like flowers and lavender.
Patchouli.
Patrouilles. Oh, very nice. I like patrouilles. Hey, thank you very much for coming to
You're
visit
very
us
welcome.
on the podcast.
I didn't kill anyone.
No, please. And keep meddling in the elections. You're doing a wonderful job.
Right. Who do you want to win the next
Yeah, I
one?
don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care.
Neither do I.
Just keep it up.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Hey, so there you go, fellas. I feel like a journalist now. I do the reporting.
Well, that's why we call you the hand in the paddock. You seem to
Yes.
get access to a lot of people.
Yes, I'm very, very popular.
Was Vladimir tight?
Very tight. But he was on the horse. He was sitting.
Did you have to test the horse as well? If the
Yes.
horse was in the paddock,
Correct. Yes, the horse had to be tested too.
was that one hand or two hands?
No, double fisting. I had my COVID finger inside of Vladimir Putin's anus while he was sitting on the pony. Yes, did you not know? It's not a real horse.
No.
He's so little, he's so short.
Really?
Yes, he only sits on a pony.
Was he wearing a shirt?
So then it looks like he's very big man on a normal size horse. But in fact, he's a small man sitting on a pony.
On a pony,
Yes. He was bare chested.
of course.
He had just wrestled a bear.
As you do.
And he was sitting on his favorite steed.
I wonder if there's a bear wrestling academy.
Yes. Oh, there's many.
Of course there would be.
And I inserted my whole fist inside the horse pony.
What did you find?
I found a small mammal. Small, and a figurine of the Effing One podcast.
Speckled Jim?
Yes, Speckled Jim.
It's the only figurine we've got.
Yeah. Hey, look, guys, this has been lots of fun. I have to get back to the test. Okay.
Good luck. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yes, thank you, guys. Vladimir and says thank you. And Robert Kubica. And then paddock. Goodbye. Wow. I think he's enjoying that job too much. I feel like he's going to take over the show.
He's taken a lot of liberties with our time.
Roving. He's doing a lot of roving.
Yeah.
And very little consideration on the important things that we need to get through on this podcast. Do you want to have a word to him? Do you want to?
No.
Someone needs to have a chat to him and just say,
Pete will
"Look,
do that.
Can you keep
Pete will
it?"
work the back channels.
Yeah, good. Because we need to keep it tight. This is a punchy podcast.
Yeah.
Pete. This is a professional outfit. We can't have Robert Kubica running around just roughshod.
Willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. Testing people. Anyway. Okay. Well, let's move on. Hey, F1 news.
F1 news.
Let's keep it moving. Lukey Luke, what's some news?
Well, Fernando Alonso made his way back to the Renault factory, the
Saw
HQ
that.
at Enston. He did a bit of simulator work, getting used to the car. Because remember, these cars are going to be the ones they're going to be using next year.
Yeah.
So he did some simulator work, got a seat fit, and tried to replicate the photo that he had back when he first joined Renault.
Yep, the Mild 7.
The Mild 7
And,
Renault that took him to 2 world championships.
Yeah. What's the feeling from Alonso from the is he feeling buoyant that next year? I mean, he said that he'll do anything for the team.
He said
he's all in.
The love of F1 brought him back. That he loves the sport and he missed the sport and he wants to come back. And, the man's been successful in what he's driven. He didn't quite win the Indy 500, but he won championships in Le Mans.
Yep.
He's in the Le Mans series. But it'll be great to have him back. The Fon's back. Hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up with him in Melbourne if we get a race there.
Fonzarelli. How do you think he's going to go against Ocon?
Oh, I think he'll wipe the floor with him.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah, I think Alonso's one of those guys who he hasn't gotten slower, which normally happens with age, and he will be 40 next year.
Yep.
But he shows no signs of slowing down.
No.
He looks fitter
Yep.
than he's ever been, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be such a great...
Oh.
And if the Renault's somewhat competitive next year, as it seems to be in the last few races, it'll be in his hands. It'll be very, very good.
It'll be interesting.
It would have been great to see Daniel and him in the same car.
Yeah.
But Daniel jumped ship to the McLaren.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a bit of a chat about it's the middle of the season?
Yeah.
We've got an odd number, so I think we've had 10 races and we've got 9 to go.
9 to go.
Very exciting. It's great how they've still managed to have the amount of Grand Prix that we had.
We've just punched them out, haven't we?
Yeah,
Back
with
to
such
back
short
to
notice.
back to back.
And you've got to think about the mechanics, the engineers, the team personnel, the truckies, the caterers, all of that have worked their absolute backsides off week after week after week, getting these cars to these places, and the work that they've done to bring us our sport that we love. A big thanks to them. The sleepless nights, the long hours, the big drives, from Italy up to Russia.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't look like we were going to get half the amount of races that we got in early on, didn't we? We thought that was the whole season would be shut down. But amazingly, we've got races in, and like you said, these teams can just back it up. Helps that they're all, stationed in Europe, very close by. They're not venturing out very far. Obviously, that wouldn't be possible if they weren't. You couldn't go to the States or South America, with back-to-back races.
Yeah.
But it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And a race every week. It's awesome.
It's been great to watch. It certainly made things a lot busier for journalists and photographers and TV people.
Our weekends are fully booked now.
It's great. And when you don't have a race on a weekend, what a dull fucking weekend that
you
is.
get used to it.
Yeah.
It's like, this doesn't feel right.
And they go to Imola after this weekend.
Oh,
but
epic.
it's only a 2-day event. So they're going from Russia down to San Marino for the third Italian race this year.
Yeah.
Even though San Marino is technically its own principality, I think. San Marino Grand Prix will be great to watch at Imola, which we haven't raced there for a while.
Wouldn't it have made sense geographically just
Yeah,
to
it would've.
stay
It
and
would've.
do Russia after? I don't know why you go all the way to Russia then to come back down, especially when you're going back to back to back to back.
Yeah, so it'll only be a Saturday, Sunday weekend.
That's why.
So, yeah, it'll be
Because the
interesting.
gear's still in Russia. They're still waiting for that bus to arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Do you want to do a little, so the recap of the halfway point of the season, compared to what you thought at the start of the year, how has the year panned out? We're taking COVID out of it, but the actual dynamics of the racing and the World Championship.
Well, I think we always knew that Mercedes, after preseason testing, were going to be very strong. Red Bull were going to be the second team. We didn't think Ferrari was going to be as bad as what they are.
We thought they'd be third.
We thought they'd be. I thought they'd be mid. They'd be probably. They wouldn't be in the top class. They would be in Group B, and they are near the bottom of Group B. I think they had some flash in the pans with Charles getting a couple of podiums, but the McLarens are Racing Points for sure. Apparently, Racing Points has a new rear end this weekend, which apparently is a little bit of Mercedes car this year.
Oh, right.
So they're getting
Again. Haven't learned the
So
lesson.
I wonder if anyone will protest
Again.
this weekend.
Takes more points away. Because they would be sitting third in the World Championship if it weren't for the points deduction.
Yeah.
Because I think McLaren's third currently.
Yeah. It's good from, behind the front two. It's a very tight field between the Racing Points, Renaults, McLarens, the Alpha Tauris even with a win from Gasly. Yeah.
Any surprises with the inter-team battles? No surprise with Hamilton wiping the floor with Bottas. That's been pretty evident. And all Verstappen and Albon, that's been quite obvious. What about, I think, surprising for me is Lando kind of taking Sainz to the cleaners. He has been epic.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much in the last couple of races, but prior to that, he's been very strong compared to Sainz.
Lando's had a good start. Sainz had a bit of bad luck. I think he didn't start a race. I think it was Monza. He didn't start. But McLaren is a very strong package. I think they've gone a little bit backwards in the last two races in terms of where they were. I don't know if it's other teams catching up on them or whether their development has gone in a wrong direction.
Or maybe the car doesn't suit. We've had a lot of low downforce circuits.
Yeah. Well, with Mugello, it's quite high downforcey, fast
true.
corners. But I think Daniel Ricciardo is trying to take out wing for the Renault to
Just
try
remove all
and
the wings.
just
Get
rid of
downforce.
them.
Just go faster.
But yeah, I think McLaren are doing a solid job. They deserve their 2 podiums this year. I'm impressed with them, and when they have the Mercedes engine in the back, that will be quite interesting.
Good time for Dan to jump ship.
Great time. They will be hampered somewhat with the new rules of development and what they can do with the car next year, because they'll be using kind of development tokens. It's like they've got a budget of what they're allowed to update, and installing that Mercedes engine is going to take up pretty much all of their development tokens in just fitting that engine in the back.
Yep.
It's not a sort of, here's an engine, take out an engine, put another one. Every engine supplier has a different way of packaging, how they use their ERS, how they use their turbo, where it's all situated in the car, and also weight distribution. So there's a lot of different factors they got to sort of take in to make sure the car it performs well around the power unit. But Renault, we'll talk about them.
Yeah,
Daniel Ricciardo has
been surprisingly strong against.
I think Ocon's only outqualified him once, outraced him, I think, once or twice. Ocon's had a little bit of bad luck with a mechanical here and there, but he has been behind Daniel.
Yeah,
and behind in the points as well.
At the top of his game. What about Racing Point? That's been quite surprising that Stroll has been so strong.
Stroll's done a great job, and
half.
you as much as he's daddy's boy and
he can drive a car.
He can wheel the car around. He had a bit of trouble keeping Nico behind him in the second British Grand Prix, But other than that, Stroll's been quite solid.
Kind of threw away a win.
He's had some fortunate strategy calls ahead of Perez, like not pitting Perez.
An upgrade that Perez hasn't had.
Yep.
And won't
this
get.
weekend he also has the upgrade that Perez won't have because they're giving it via championship points. And Sergio's missed 2 races.
Yeah.
He's had a bit of bad luck, but full props to Stroll. He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Drove really well in Mugello. If we'll talk about...
I think Perez is feeling a little left out, though. Perez is...
Oh, he is. He had a deal, but...
he's also feeling left out of team. He's now saying that they're not telling him certain things. They're keeping information from him. He's feeling like he's being ostracised a little.
He will be because he's not needed in the team. Same way Daniel won't be in certain meetings at Renault. And Sainz won't be in certain meetings with McLaren. Because these guys are jumping ship.
Yep.
And I dare say Seb won't be in meetings where I don't think it would matter if he went to a meeting in Ferrari, because he's not going to take that information to Racing Point.
You're not going to bother.
He'll have a post-it note, and he'll just stick on Racing Point, which will then be Aston Martin.
Aston Martin.
He will stick it on their window. Says, "Keep copying Mercedes."
Yeah.
Because you're doing a great job. You'll have nothing to learn from Ferrari.
Go right ahead.
That I can bring you. Who else can we talk about? AlphaTauri. We've got Gasly with a win.
Dominated Kvyat. Absolutely dominated him.
Kvyat did a decent job last weekend, but Gasly was out. Turn 3 in the last race. But Gasly has outperformed Kvyat completely. I think Kvyat will be gone next year. I think it will be Tsunoda, the Japanese driver in F2.
Yep.
Doing a solid job.
Yeah. Where's he coming in F2?
I think he's top 4, which he needs top 4 to get the required super license points. Yep. But AlphaTauri's, it's a strong car. It won the race in Monza. He did a great job there. Kept Carlos Sainz behind him. Kept a cool head. And the car just has, random moments of
it looks strong.
Yeah.
Really strong.
It does. I think it's a little bit old Red Bullish as well.
A bit of the bull. Got a bit of the bull there. What about Alfa Romeo?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that head-to-head between Giovinazzi?
Giovinazzi hasn't been there. Raikkonen's outraced him, and Raikkonen's getting the points, and even Raikkonen's starting to out-qualify him.
I think it's time for Giovinazzi
to I rated him in GP2 when he was there. He had some really balls to the wall, and he's a cool cat. He's a nice guy, but he just seems to be lacking in some way. I don't know if Kimi's on some power porridge but he just doesn't seem to have it over Kimi. Kimi's just doing him quite easily this year.
Yeah, the Huss boys probably equally as bad as each other.
Yeah, if you look at their heads-to-heads, it's I think it's 5-4, 4-5.
Yeah,
they're both
pretty lousy.
No one's clear. Early on in the season, you're Magnussen's wiping the floor, and then the last 3 races, you're just oh Jesus, Grosjean's really stepped it up in quali and the race. So I don't know what's going on. I can't see Grosjean there next year. I can see Nico Hulkenberg. Sorry, I think Nico's going to Alfa Romeo.
Okay.
Haas, I'm going to guess Perez is going to go there because he'll bring some money as well, which would be good for Gene Haas and the team to bring in a bit of extra coin. So one of them will have to stay, but Gunther Steiner came out and he said that if we're going to go with drivers, we want them, if we're going to have them next year, we want them the year after. So whoever we have next year, they'll have the year after as well. Yep. He goes, we want some guys who have knowledge to go in with the new car, which comes into 2022, the brand new car.
Get rid of them both then. Get rid of them.
Could be a clear out sale.
Maybe. Get ready for 20.
But Magnussen really needs to pull his finger out if he wants to drive next year.
Yeah, not looking good. And what was it? Williams. Latifi's been surprisingly ordinary. I thought it'd be taking the challenge more up to George Russell? Hasn't really.
I did think he'd be closer, but he's been tidy, but like he's already had an accident. You know, he just gets a little bit. Probably the highlight of my Mugello weekend, which I was even considering giving the Effing One Podcast Award to, for one sheer moment of qualifying brilliance, was George Russell.
Yeah.
Now, George Russell in Q1, he ran wide and went off track, like properly off track. 4 wheels on the gravel, and he just charged through that corner, brought up so much gravel in the air, came back on the track, finished his lap and improved his lap.
Yep.
Most guys, once they go through the gravel, probably would have lifted, or he kept his foot flat.
Yep.
And he just kicked up a fuckload of gravel, but he kept his foot in. And I love that because he's probably looked down at his delta, which is an approximate time. Like it gives him the perfect time of where he is compared to his previous lap. They'll have a time and it'll be like a minus or plus depending on where they're at. So he would have looked down straight after that and he would have still seen a minus. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to continue this lap. Where most guys would have went through that and gone, I've ruined it. Like in their head ruined it.
Yep.
But George has gone, nah, I'm sticking to it. And he beat his teammate, which Latifi was very close to him last weekend or last race. But that sheer balls to the George Russell is just too good. He should be in Mercedes next year. Bottas can, I don't know.
He's just seat warming Bottas, isn't he? Just get rid of him.
I don't see the point of having him another year. Seat warming. I don't understand it.
Seat warming. It's annoying. But I guess it's safer.
If I was Russell, I'm like, if you don't give me a drive,
I'm out.
If you don't give me a drive, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to Red Bull or something.
Yeah. I guess for Mercedes it makes sense. With Bottas, you know what you're getting. He's not going to challenge Lewis. Where George might challenge him, might get a bit frisky, might try some moves, might cause some problems.
Yep.
I get it. You know.
But George is a great driver.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets into a really good car soon because he's one of those young talents you just want to see, like Leclerc, like Verstappen, get into a good car and start thrashing it about.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to for the rest of this season? The remaining 9 races. What are you predicting? What are you looking for?
I predict that this weekend Lewis Hamilton will tie Michael Schumacher's record.
Yeah, seems inevitable.
But funny enough, when we get to tipping, I'm gonna do something different.
Yeah.
But I feel Lewis will win his 7th World Championship.
Does Dan get a podium?
Dan will get a podium. Where? Could be this weekend.
Good shot.
Because it's lowish downforce.
Yeah.
Daniel's pretty quick in the last sector, like in comparison or within a tenth of the Mercedes. It's the first 2 he's a bit lacking. But he seems to be up there.
Yep.
Around the Verstappen-y, Sainz-y racing point. And so if he can be the front of that, if he can be third, it'll be massive.
Could be a massive battle for third place for a podium. I'd love to see him do it.
What's your predictions? What are you looking forward to for the rest of the year? I'm looking forward to Nürburgring, myself, and Imola. I love Imola.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to... once the World Championship's sort of tied up, you're not really looking at the World Championship anymore, are you? You're kind of looking at, individual goals through in the paddock, like Rick, Dan getting a podium, maybe Lando getting up there as well, maybe Vettel not sucking so bad. That seems impossible.
Russell getting a point, that'd be nice.
I'd like to see more scenarios where, I'd love to see Russell get a point. I'd love to see a couple of races where the Mercedes and the Red Bulls don't feature and more of the midfield at the top.
Yep.
That's fun.
Yep.
I love it. Yeah,
how many race wins will Lewis Hamilton retire on?
Oh, gosh. I can't see him retiring he's going to be here for a bit longer. Going to rack up another 2 or 3 years worth, you think?
And he'd win, what, maybe 70% of those?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. He's going to win this year. He'll undoubtedly be red hot favourite for next year before the regulation change. And then who's to say? I mean, there are odds on for the regulation change to be the fastest car as well.
Mm-hmm.
Surely.
Yeah.
And if they're not, I mean, that might be the 1 year that someone's got a chance. That first year.
Will they bring in, like, because they'll be losing a lot of personnel in Mercedes with the new cost cap.
Yep, you're going to trim a lot
They're
of
going to, they're going to have to trim fat, so they're going to go to other teams. So they could, you know, if you're a wise little team director in one of the F1 teams and go, you know what, we're going to poach this guy because we think he's good, and go after them. As some of them have to shed the fat. That could be that's a little curveball that you may not see coming. Some talent from Mercedes being picked up by other teams. I like it. Bring us your resume.
Absolutely. Luke, do you have news about the Monaco of the Gold Coast, Luke?
I do.
That beautiful racetrack, yet to be utilised, but it's ready. It's sitting in stasis.
It's
waiting.
aching.
Itching.
Waiting to be driven on.
The locals are ready. It's
like a virgin at prom. It's
It
just
is
waiting, anticipating.
Not a classy one. It's like a Nerang slapper. She's a bit cheap.
Yeah.
She's a bit easy.
She's easy. She's willing and waiting, but she just has no one willing to ride her.
No, that's right.
She's a horrible hog.
She's at the bar, waiting for that drunk guy to have one too many. Yep. The Nerang Grand Prix, the Monaco of the Gold Coast.
She thought she was close, and then he passed out with a soft cock.
Fell asleep.
Fell
asleep.
Yeah.
Rolled him off. Back to the bar. Wait for the next one.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
She was trying
track.
to thumb in a softie, and that never works. It's just satisfying.
It's a lovely racetrack, and it's ready to go. We are putting forward our plans and have been planning meticulously.
Well, how would you sum up Nerang?
As the
suburb,
of Nerang?
the suburb of Nerang, where the host of this Grand Prix will be held.
It's like the least most desirable suburb of any of the town that you're living in right now. Whatever the worst suburb is, it's kind of like that.
It's like them.
It's kind of like that. It's out west. It's rough. It's tough. And it's the perfect place for Formula One.
High level of unemployment and teen pregnancies. They're up there.
A lot of drugs. A lot of prostitution.
If you're lucky.
It's the opposite of Monaco. So we call it the Monaco of the Gold Coast.
Yep, it's got the beautiful brown Nerang River running through it where there's heaps of bull sharks.
Perfect.
What more would you want?
You can't
in a Grand Prix venue.
It's the People's Grand Prix. It's the little Aussie Battlers Grand Prix. Formula One is an elitist sport, always has been. And this is our way of bringing it back to the
just
people.
Just like our podcast, we just bring it back. Bring the level of height and pompousness. We
Absolutely.
Drag it back through the mud.
Correct.
And this is the race that will drag Formula One back to the common people. The battlers, the people like you and me,
absolutely,
and some of our listeners.
An untamed market. You know, it's not the elites; it's just the common guy, and that's what this racetrack is, and that's what it symbolises. So, what's the latest news, Luke? It's all ready to go.
Well, it's a new section.
Everything's in place.
It's a new section.
Yep.
We've got the nude section.
Yes, we do.
We've got different areas around the track. This one is a new one, and I got the idea when. You know, they put, at Monza, they put the heads of people in the stands as pictures to go, hey, we've got a crowd here.
Yep.
I've gone one step further. So to fit, like, if we still have the coronavirus and we can't get fans to the Nerang Grand Prix, we're going to have the stands filled with dead people.
Oh.
So instead of just a picture of someone,
actually,
if you're an F1 fan and you want to get to Grand Prix and you've died,
recently?
We're going to shove you in the stand.
Yes, we are.
We're going to cut to you, your lifeless body, as a car goes past, and we're going to pose you in different areas.
Oh, love it.
Yep.
You're pickled? Are you pickled for preservation purposes?
No. No pickling.
No, there's a lot of flies, and Nerang is known for its flies.
Yeah, it keeps it by having a dead section. It keeps the flies away from everyone else.
Good point.
So the flies will go to the rotting skin of the dead people.
Very clever, Luke.
See?
Very clever.
You cut to the dead people crowd, and instead of having fake photos and stupid displays of people cheering on a driver. You've got a dead person there who is a fan of Formula One. They're getting to watch a race.
They were a fan.
They died horrifically.
They died tragically.
And now we have them up on the big screen. Hey guys, you're on TV. Your families can wave and say hi and remember you.
There's Nana.
For the massive fan that you are.
Yep. There's Nana. Look at her. Gosh, she's a bit blue, a bit pale. She doesn't look great.
No, they've got that makeup on her. She looks alive.
And
she's
it's like
lifeless.
It's like Weekend at Bernie's. So you've got people with...
Yeah, there's people with pulleys.
Lifting
their arms and...
Yeah. Flapping about. Because in Weekend at Bernie's, he never discolours. He never gets smelly. He never goes off.
No.
He doesn't seem to turn.
No. When we could have a rival podcast and call it What's That Smell in the Grandstand.
I love it.
So,
Genius.
yeah, that's my idea. Dead people, a dead section.
A dead section. I like it. A commemorative dead section. And you could pan in and you could focus in and then you could do a little thing about their life. And that was Johnny Smith. He was...
they show the fans on the screens and they're cheering.
Yep.
You just have...
An obituary.
The corpse face.
Yep.
And then just what they died of.
And a eulogy.
Yeah. This is Phil. He was a big fan of Formula One.
Love Formula One.
He died...
Tragically at work.
He was a stable hand, and he was...
Tragically kicked in the face by a horse. Died.
Is that ever a tragedy?
Not really.
When you see someone getting kicked in the face with a horse?
No. It's like good luck, isn't it?
I think so.
It's
a horseshoe.
Yeah, it's a horseshoe in the face. If you're going to go out, that's not a bad way to go.
Look for Phil in the stadium. He's got a horse print.
Yeah, you'll know him when you see him.
Face.
He's wearing a cowboy hat, and his face looks like a horseshoe. There he is. Oh, look at him. He's smiling.
Lucky Phil, we call him.
It's just Lucky Phil. There's Lucky Phil. He's not. He is smiling. No, that's just the imprint of the horseshoe on his face. That's the smile. Yeah, Lucky Phil. What a guy. Died tragically, but he died the way he should die.
Died doing what he's loved. Kick in the face.
Hanging around the back end of a horse. A good idea, Luke. Really top notch.
That's enough of the Nerang Grand Prix.
In terms of some of our best ideas for the Nerang Grand Prix, that's right up there.
I mean, I sat there
put a lot of thought into it.
I sat there for minutes. I've actually been trying to get that out in the last few podcasts, but I keep forgetting about it.
Was it worth it? Easily.
Not really.
Totally worth it. Perfect.
Yeah.
I think that would be around about...
So we're going to talk about... we'll have a quick talk about Sochi.
Oh, crap.
That's what's going on this weekend, the Russian Grand Prix.
Sochi, of course. Let's wrap it up.
So we have the Sochi Autodrome. That's all it's called.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be Putin's parade.
Putin's parade.
But unfortunately it's not. 18 corners, a circuit of 5.848 kilometres, 53 laps. The first Grand Prix was in 2014. The race distance is 309.745. The lap record is by Lewis the Douche Canoe Hamilton on a 1 minute 35.761. 2019 race results for the Russian Grand Prix was Hamilton, Bottas and Charles Leclerc. We know that's not going to happen this weekend. Leclerc will be nowhere near it.
No. Oh, yeah. By the way, guess who's turning up in the podcast?
Who?
Who? Dan Ricciardo.
Dan Ricciardo's coming up very shortly.
He's going to be on this podcast in just a moment.
We've got some tips.
Just minutes. Oh, yep. We'll first get into the...
Go do the tips.
We'll put him on hold for a bit longer. Put Dan on hold. He's on the line waiting
He's not scheduled to call for another couple of minutes. We're fine.
Oh, perfect.
Let me just smash through this.
Okay, let's smash through the tips.
All right. So, Mercedes.
Let's go Bottas. Double Bottas.
Oh, you bastard.
He's going to come
I was going to do that.
This is his favourite track.
You motherfucker.
He's smooth on this. It's his one chance to get another race win before he gets totally
annihilated. I'm going Bottas too. Because I'm not just fighting you this year. I'm fighting a whole lot of people.
That's right.
And the leaderboard of the tipping championship, I'm actually in the lead. 122, Pete 120, Cliff 119. Great, another great week from Cliff. Jim 117, Adam 115, and Pat 112.
We need to put a couple of bucks on this. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
A little prize pool.
Ferrari,
Charles Leclerc, double up, please, for qualifying and the race.
Leclerc, same here. Red Bull Racing.
Double Verstappen.
Verstappen.
Pretty easy so far.
McLaren.
McLaren. See, Sainz has had a bit of a comeback recently. I would like to say Norris, but I'm a bit in two minds here. I'm going to go double Sainz.
Double Sainz. I'm going to go Sainz Norris.
Okay.
Next up, Renault.
Double Dan.
Double Dan.
He's very quick.
It seems to be it's double Dan, double Verstappen, and double Russell is pretty much the go-to for all the tipsters.
Yeah. Yep.
Everything else is kind of a mix-up, a bit of a change around.
Mostly double Hamilton, but occasionally, like Russia, you'll slip in a bit of a Bottas.
Yep.
Who's next?
So next up we have Alpha Tauri. Gasly Kvyat.
Oh, double
Kvyat in the home race.
Double Kvyat. He's on his home track. He has to do something. If he doesn't beat Gasly here, I mean, just leave midway.
Would you kick him out now?
Just get rid of him now.
Who would you put in his place?
Let's go Hulkenberg. He just fills spots mid-season, doesn't he?
I wonder if he's going to be filling Will Buxton's spot in the F1 TV.
Yes. Well, I think Robert Kubica needs to give him a quick test first.
So you're going
sure he's okay.
Double Kvyat.
Double Kvyat.
I'm going to go... I will go Kvyat as well because it's the home race.
Yep.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Very safe.
Perez Stroll.
I'm going to go double Perez. I think he is going to be angry. He's going to be hungry.
I'm going to do the Perez Stroll thing that I always do.
Yep.
Perez not allowed to finish in front of him.
Yep.
Who we got next? Alfa Romeo.
Double Raikkonen.
Double Kimi Raikkonen. I will go double Raikkonen. He's just been too consistent.
It's been good.
Magnussen Grosjean.
I'm going to go with recent form. I'm going to go double Grosjean.
I had thought about this weekend, going, I might go Grosjean because he's had phenomenal form, but I'm going to be an idiot and go with Magnussen.
Do it.
Double Mags for me. And Russell, I'm guessing. Or are you going to go Latifi?
Double Russell.
Good idea.
Yes.
Safe bet.
Well, I think it's time to... I think we're running out of time. I think we've run out of time. We can't get Dan on.
Can't get Dan on.
I don't think we've got time for Dan this week. Is
no.
that right?
But what would you like to do is thank Mum?
I'd like to thank Mrs. Luke. Mrs. Luke, sorry we can't...
We'll get to Dan next time.
Dan is definitely going to be on next week. Is that right? Yep. Okay. Oh, I think Sebastian is feeling a bit left out. I think Sebastian's on Skype and he wants to say g'day to you. Hey guys! Hi! I think you guys might have forgotten me. I've been vetting here the whole time. Did you mean to cross to me? I mean, I'm Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion. You haven't even said hello. Hello!
Hi, Sebastian.
Hello.
How you going?
I got 10th place. That's good, yeah. I got a point.
You did? You got a point?
Yeah, I stopped to Georgie Russell's.
You did?
Yeah, I'm a great driver. Whatever.
You had a great restart and stayed ahead of George Russell.
I tell you what, I can't wait.
What's it like fighting with the Williams?
Oh, Jesus. I got to be honest with you. Is anyone watching from Ferrari? Is anyone looking?
No one's listening to this, don't worry.
I'm going to get up close to the microphone. I can't wait to get out of here. It's really... I mean, it's bad. The atmosphere's bad.
Are you going to do anything, as kind of a prank before you leave? It's kind of like a departing present.
I think I'm just going to say, hey guys, this car's perfect. Don't do anything different. Just go, hey guys, this is really good.
I'd take a shit in the airbox.
The next guy. Oh, Carlos. Oh, so sorry, Carlos. Yeah. There's a little bit of Fisi in there as well. See if you can find it. I've put Fisi on every part of the car.
I wonder if I made it faster.
It might, you know what? I think the Fisi might make... If you had a Fisi with 4 wheels on it, I don't think it's going to be any slower than what I'm driving right now. So what I'm driving right now is shit on wheels. It's shitty. I can't wait to get into the pink. I want to get the little pinky stinky. I want to get inside.
Are you going to be going pink or are you going to be going green?
I'm going to go, well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the color pink, but... with the Aston Martin, I think it's going to be a nice fit for me. I'm going to be back in the world champion, baby. I'm going to pick up my 5th world championship.
Really?
Yeah.
You're calling it now?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
How does that going to happen?
Well, I will be super motivated.
Oh, that's going to be it, is it?
Yeah, I'm going to. And not make so many mistakes. I've been making a few mistakes, but I'm pretty sure I'll be great next year. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Thanks, guys. So I just want to say hi, and don't forget me. And, just because I'm not winning the races and my car's shite, don't forget your friend Sebastian Vettel is here waiting. Anytime you want to chat, if about your girlfriend troubles, look, I know you've been working out a lot.
I don't have a girlfriend,
Well,
so there's no trouble.
You've got your fitness regime, you're losing the weight, and you're doing lots of exercise for the ladies. And I want you to know, look, I'm always here. If you can't find the lady, I can be your lady.
It's all right. I'm happy to be on my own.
Okay, sure.
I don't.
Stop texting me at night times then.
Well, it's my daytime, so.
All right. Yeah, that does make sense. You're in Australia, aren't you?
I am.
What is this podcast called again?
It's called the
I don't fucking care, Luke. Just send me a dick pic. Okay, see you later, guys. Bye. Bye.
Bye, Sebastian.
Bye, Sebastian. Wow.
Daniel called
What?
while we were talking to
Oh,
him.
no. We missed Dan because the phone was busy with Sebastian.
Yeah.
This is fucking unbelievable. That's okay. We'll get him on next week. You've heard it here. Dan is on next week.
We'll get him on.
We'll get him on.
Yeah.
Luke, it's been fun. Mrs. Luke,
thanks,
thank
Mum.
you so much, Mrs. Luke. This is a beautiful spread. We've got Russian treats and delights. Oh, what is that?
What would you call that?
What is that?
I don't know what that.
It looks like cabbage.
Well,
It's like a finger.
It's a head
human
of something.
Finger? Yeah. A head of a penis?
Is that Robert Kubica's
Is
finger?
that Robert Kubica's finger wrapped in...
Maybe she's
cabbage?
made like an homage to Robert Kubica's hand.
Oh, God. Yeah.
That's what she does.
Looks very weird. And that one looks like Vladimir Putin. Is that a cake? Is it a poutine? Vladimir Putin?
Looks like poo.
It does, doesn't it? I'm going to eat it, though. It looks delicious.
You should.
I'm going to nibble it.
The great thing is you'll go home to your wife and you'll fart cabbage and I won't be anywhere around to smell it.
Oh, you've always got Sebastian. You always text him.
Lucky me.
FaceTime him.
He loves the FaceTime.
I tell you.
He calls it crotch time.
You two. You two are like two peas in a pod. It's frightening. It really is.
It is.
Very frightening.
Except he's super successful with 4 world championships and I'm sitting on a couch talking to a microphone.
Yeah, but both
Absolute
gays.
nonsense!
They're both gay as hell.
But by God, we do it
By
good.
God, you're good.
All right.
All right, you dedicated homosexual. Let's get out of here.
Bye.
Bye.